at the bottom right of our website. Get ready to supercharge your live streaming experience with Restream Studio. Absolutely everything you need to run is.
What is this?
What is it?
Meet Connected, quick and simple scheduling app.
On your belly. Carly, please don't do that. I gave it to you to save battery and get the power go down.
This is
Oh, this
booty.
is battery, but I want to play. Okay. Feet mouse. What's feet mouse? You have to move your feet around it, and the one who's playing with you, they have to try to get it. The one who's playing with you. With you. What? Yeah, do this. Then they try to capture.
You're all garbly.
All right, what about now? Is that better? Is
Sound like you're underwater swimming with sharks.
that right? Can you hear me now?
It's better. Still a little.
That's much better. Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. Well, hello, Kate Trevor. What's going on?
How you doing? I'm here in Denver at the Best Ever Conference.
We lost him again.
Yeah, we lost you again, Cornelius.
How was that? That better?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How'd you get a
How you
different?
doing, Trevor?
good.
Daniel, what's going on? Daniel, how you
What's
feeling?
going on, Cornelius? How are you?
Good. Where you joining us from, Daniel? Tell everybody where you joining us from.
California, Central California,
Indeed.
the land of the citrus.
Going on. I get things started. How are you? Mr. Mike, Mr. ATM, how it going?
Good. How are you doing, Cornelius? Coming to you from Florida
Nice seeing you,
today.
man.
Things are
Let
good.
everybody- let everybody know where you calling from.
I'm in Florida today.
Florida today. Oh, must be nice. Mr. Russell Nova, what's going on? How you feeling?
What's happening, guys? How are you, man? How are you? I'm actually currently at the BEC event. I'm here in Denver.
Yeah.
So have to take some time, show some love to my guy JP and Daniel and all the entire team here today, man.
Hey,
Outstanding.
Russell, how you doing? Hey, you get a chance to connect with Frank Speech
Russell,
out
I'm
there.
here.
He's a
I'm
colleague
here.
of mine from California. You get a chance to come across and I'll let him know you're out there too to try to connect with you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, man. If you wanna make the connection, I'm here. I'm here for today. I was here yesterday,
Yeah.
today, and tomorrow.
Yeah, sure thing. We're going to be building a 108 unit development here in multifamily in Visalia. So, it'd be great to probably connect with him and just kind of, shoot the breeze.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
absolutely, man.
Well, Russell, you also got K Trevor there too. He's there to be BLC.
Oh, okay, awesome. Hey, what's happening, Kate? Yeah, let's definitely meet up. I just saw the text. Let's meet up. We're actually here. We have an exhibit booth, so just come on board. Come in and just say hello to Cornerstone
Which
Group.
booth? Which booth?
You
Just
can't miss
make
us.
sure. Pardon me?
Booth number 22.
22.
Got it, man. Thank y'all for representing. Thank you so much. Well, Carrie and Wynn, how are you? Say hello. How are y'all? I see y'all rocking the pink.
Yeah.
Breast cancer awareness.
We good. How are you?
Life is good, man. Tell everybody where you calling from.
We from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I
Yes,
know. Yeah.
How's the weather there?
The weather right now, ice storm. We just have an ice storm
Yeah.
like yesterday.
Outstanding.
But next week will be 70. So, it's Oklahoma.
Yes. Yep. It's always up and down.
Good deal. Was it Clay Malcolm? What's going on, Clay Malcolm?
Hey Cornelius, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia today, and happy to be here, and glad to be at the event today.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. We got Margaret. Hello, Margaret. How are you?
Hi guys, I'm fine. We're getting snow here, so we're still in the Wisconsin winter. But yeah, we're glad to see you guys all in the sunny places.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Alex, are you glad to see you made it, Mr. Alex?
Hey, can't miss this at all, man. Thanks for having us on. Freaking out of Austin, Texas, just looking for deals here and looking for sponsors.
It's good, man. We're ready. You're good. Yeah. Good. You're in the right place right now. Right place.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Joel Fine, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Outstanding. Where you calling from?
I'm in Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
You deep in the heart too. Deep in the heart.
That is
I'm in
cool.
I'm in Fort Worth, so
Okay.
the far from you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for hosting.
I got you. Mr. Juan, how you doing, Mr. Juan? Mr. Ron Carlos.
Hello, how you doing, Cornelius? I'm in Monterrey, Mexico, but I'm investing in Texas, and I am here with my friend and partner, Bobby Sharma, who's in Florida. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, man. You're gonna have a great time, man. It's gonna be an outstanding event. Mr. Moses, good to see you, man. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I had to jump off last week early, but I'm
sure Vina did a good job getting that deal question. That's good.
Outstanding. Miss Adi, I pronounce right? Adi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Where you calling from?
From Frisco, Texas.
Frisco. Wow.
Yes.
How did you hear about the event? Just wondering. How did you hear about the event?
Oh, one of the big dog invited me.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That'd be me. That'd be me, Trevor.
Oh yes, that is true.
That'd
It's
be
you.
me, Trevor. What, you can't forget KK Trevor in the house.
I invite everybody.
That's good. Thank you.
Right. Well, thanks for having me.
Hi, Adi. This is Nagesh. I'm from Frisco too.
Oh, hi, Nagesh. How are you?
Good, good. I'm off of
Off of where?
Coit
Coit.
Road, El Dorado.
Oh, so we have a barbecue at your house next week, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know where you at. Oh yeah, we got your address now. Going down. Thank you for coming, Ms. Johannes. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you.
How's the sabbatical coming?
It is going well. It's we are making moves here, so no worries. It's all good, all good.
Where you calling from? Where you joining us from?
DC.
DC. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know. Miss Cynthia, how are you? Cynthia Spencer, how are you?
Hi,
Thank you for coming.
thank you.
Where you joining from?
In Austin, Texas.
Oh, not Austin. How'd you hear about the event? Just wondering.
Mr. Trevor Thompson invited me.
Trevor in the house. KK Trevor with the home run. We need to start making some surprises for Trevor. Give him his own plaque. He get a Golden Shark Award. He is the man. Miss CB, hello CB.
Hello, Cornelius. How are you?
How are you? Let everybody know where you joining from.
I'm from beautiful Santa Cruz, right here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yes.
Outstanding. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Mr. Jake Patel, what's going on, man? Is that a Dallas, Texas? Is that a Cowboys jersey you got on?
Well, it's not Dallas Cowboys, but it's yes. I'm from Dallas Cowboys fans. Hey, Colonel, thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it. This is Jake Patel, based in Dallas, Texas. Local investors, around 400 units in LP and GP, all in Dallas Fort Worth. Thank you for having me again, Colonel.
Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for coming. Hey, I'll put the link in the chat for if y'all want to share information with everybody. Feel free to do it there. That way, try to keep the chat clean for the questions that we go through the questions so forth. We at the top. What time is it? 7:06. We almost there. It's Charles Dawson. You damn a good man. Mr. Rick Ward. I ain't forget you, Mr. Rick Ward. How you doing, Mr. Rick Ward? Let everybody know where you calling from.
Hi there. I'm doing great. I'm in Boise, Idaho. And DFW is my primary investment location, and throughout Texas and Tennessee.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you for joining us. Miss Shanika, how are you? That's it right, Shanika?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got it right. Yeah. How are you? Where you joining from?
Colorado.
Colorado, what part?
I live 7 miles west of Denver, 12 miles south of Boulder.
Oh, good indeed. Is it how's the weather there? Is it cold?
Yeah, I think 10 degrees was the high today.
Okay. Thank you for coming. How did you hear about the event?
I'm sorry.
How did you hear about the event? Just wondering, how did you hear about the event?
Your Facebook friends.
Oh yeah, look at that. Facebook, nice job.
We have a lot of common friends in the multifamily and commercial space.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Yes, thank you for coming. Mr. Bobby, how are you, Bobby? Gonna let everybody know who you are? Where you calling from?
Hey everybody, I'm just north of Miami. Shanika, I don't want to tell you what the temperature's like here, but a little bit warmer than where you're at. So, but it's t-shirt weather.
Outstanding, outstanding. And Stella Williams, how are you, Stella?
Doing good.
Where you calling from?
Austin, Texas, and got invited from Trevor. So.
Look at K Trevor on again. One more point for K Trevor. Point to K Trevor in the house.
Trevor's a machine.
Yes, it is. I like that. Mr. David, how are you, David? David Sim, how are you? I guess he's busy. Charles, tell some good news, Charles.
Okay, which Charles are you talking about?
You were the
Good
man,
Charles
the myth, the
or the bad
legend.
Charles? Okay, yeah. No, all good. Cornelius, I'm ready to rock and roll. How many properties are we looking at today? How
Two,
many
my good man. We got adults. Para dos of those babies, dos.
I don't understand French. We're doing two? Okay, we got 2 deals going on. Cool. All right, good. All right, awesome. Hey, can I just give a shout out to Margaret?
Please do.
Yauberg.
Please do.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. I just love seeing her here. And yeah, you guys, hey, for everyone that needs to know, Margaret was the mayor of her little city. She's the mayor. We got to call her the Honorable Margaret Yauberg. All right. So just remember that. Give it up for her. And I'm still, to this day, I'm still trying to figure out what her political persuasion is. She's hit it very well. Yes.
That's how you stay in office. You don't align with any one side too closely.
Exactly. Yep.
Bravo,
well played.
Well played. I want to get out to my wife, Valerie. Thank you for my supporter. Hello, Valerie. I know she do a lot in the background. Thank you, Valerie. Shout out for you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I see Nicole got her family there. They can come because they got a young one. Hello, Nicole. I know you got the family there. Thank you for coming. Hello. We got Taylor back. Hello, Taylor. Hello. Good to see you all. We got Carrie in the house. All right, look at this thing started. Let me make sure. Sanjay, you there? Sanjay gonna be, and JP is there. All right, we ready to roll? Okay?
Yes, here.
All right, so press record. Unmute everybody quick. Press record. Get this party started. Charlie Rustin in the house. All right. All right, make sure you got everything rolling. Get this thing started real quick. Give me 1 second. Press record. Recording mic. Welcome to Apartment Shark Pool, the best place to find great deals and great investors to invest in apartment investing. I'm your host, Cornelius Cannon. Today we got 2 outstanding deals today. We got 15 minutes to present. 15 minutes, we actually have the Shark panel give advice, offer suggestions, and also public feedback. And our goal is to get these deals funded. Feel free to put your question in the chat. So as we begin the show, let's introduce our sharks. First, we have Charles. You there, Charles? Try again, Charles.
I'm sorry, I am here. And I would like to, as the defense attorney, I would like to go last.
Okay, gotcha. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Trevor, go ahead. Okay, Trevor.
Hi, I'm Trevor, Austin, Texas. LP in 17 syndications, GP in 1. And obviously I like to connect people because I brought a lot of people here.
Outstanding. Charlie Rustin, are you there, Charlie?
I am. Good evening, Shark Nation. I run a fund that invests predominantly in multifamily, and we'll be looking to put money into these deals. And our fund is slightly different. It allows investors to come in at a smaller requirement than most of the syndicated deals need. You know, if it's 50,000, 100,000, you can get into our fund for a smaller amount and get into these deals, the same deals, same returns, no filtering for a much smaller amount. So, and that's how we build and grow our fund as well.
Hey, Cornelius, can I just ask that, just so that we can make the distinction between myself and Charlie Rustin, we refer to us as the good Charlie and the bad Charlie, okay? I appreciate that. That'd be awesome.
Charles, I actually prefer the Brit because I know that I'm the bad Charlie, but I'd rather stay as the Brit.
Oh, you want to be the Brit? Okay, because we usually have Irish Kevin. So we get Irish Kevin and Brit Charlie. Okay, fine.
There you
go.
Is Kevin here?
Good.
I got you. Good deal. Now that you know about us, the question is, let us know about you. My first question I want to know is, why did you come to this event? In a couple minutes, you're gonna see a poll pop up. I want to know why you come to the event. Are you here to look for people with deals? Are you looking for people to find capital? Are you really not sure why you're here? Are you looking for your soulmate? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, poll stops. Let's share results. All right, so we got a couple people looking for some deals, a couple people looking for some capital, a couple people not sure why they're here. No problem, all, best place to be. Also, people look for their soulmate, so we may have found some connections tonight, right? Here we go. Second question. I want to ask you, how can you help somebody else out? As we know that it's not about what you know, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. So the question is, how can you help other people out? So my question is, how can you help somebody else out? Can you help find deals? Can you help with capital, secure capital? You want to make sure how you can help, or you can be that lost soulmate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the poll, share results. So let's see. You got a couple people that can help find properties, a couple people that help secure capital, and a couple people I'm not sure how they can help. We got some soulmate finders here, so we can do it. Now we also doing networking after the presentation, so feel free to network later on. Okay, stop sharing. Now, my third question I want to ask you is a credit investor. Would you consider yourself a credit investor or not? Simple question. They want to know. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's end the poll. Share results. So we have some people not exactly sure what credit investor is. No problem, all credit investors in net worth. Some people say they no, but they do have money, and some people say yes. So we got a good mixture in the group. All right. So now let's begin our show. Wait, but before we gotta do for social media real quick. I need a picture for social media. So please turn your cameras on and let's get social media posts. We gotta post social media posts on. All right. Let's get our camera on real quick. So let's get some smiles and some cheeses for social media people. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let me do one more. Ready?
We do that again, Cornelius. I didn't like my picture.
So I'm saying,
do that again. Everybody just
please feel free to do your own pictures too, and please hashtag and tag everybody as well. All right, y'all ready? I'm gonna try it again. 1, 2, 3. Oh yes, sir. It's okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, we got people here. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. One time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you all. Sean, miss when you came,
Michael ATM is going to be disappointed with that picture. I know it. Yeah.
Thank you all. I'll tag you in a bit. Let's see here. JP, are you ready, my good man?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So you should be able to share your screen and verify real quick.
Yep. Still waiting.
Try it now.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah, now I can't.
Should I unmute anybody else for you? Are you fine?
Repeat that.
Should I unmute somebody else for you?
Maybe Russell.
Russell?
Yeah, Russell will chime in at some point, perhaps. But that's about it for now.
I'll find Russell. All right. K Trevor, you got the you have the timer for us?
Got it. I'll give you a 5-minute warning. I don't have a bell, so I'll just say
cool.
ding.
Well, I've been practicing all day. I think I got it to like 15 and a half, maybe 16, depending how fast I talk. So it should be good.
All right. So rock and roll when you're ready, my man.
All right, cool. Let's go. So hello, Sharks. Hello to the Shark Nation. My name is JP Albano. I'm with Significant Lifestyle Communities, and I'm here to present our 92-unit deal, value add deal in Atlanta, Georgia. So here's our standard disclosure. This deal is only for accredited investors and is subject to a 506C offering. The property that we're talking about today is currently known as Green Village with an E. It was built in 1971 and has 92 units, of which 27 are vacant and offline. It sits on almost 9 acres of land, and there's 11 brick buildings that make up the community. This is currently a C-class property and is located in a town called Riverdale, which is just 7 miles south of the airport in Atlanta, near many of the main economic drivers in the MSA. So allow me to discuss our origin story here at Significant. Part of this story explains our unique value proposition as sponsors and operators and how this benefits investors. So let me start by stating that when I switched from IT to real estate, as someone who was good at computers and helping people, I couldn't quite make the connection on how I can impact people's lives in real estate until I met Howard, our mentor and advisor. So rewind a number of years, right back a number of years ago, my partner Matt Shields and I decided to go after 100+ unit apartments in the South. A few years later, after attending a 300-person, 3-day networking event in Utah, the first person I introduced myself to literally was this gentleman, Howard Primer. And I learned a number of things about him over the course of 3 days. I learned that he's gifted in business, he's very humble, he's generous and spiritual, and I was blown away by his business model of multifamily. So what Howard did was he decided to break down the stereotypical landlord-tenant dynamic that happens, where if you're the tenant, you don't really care. It's not your place. You don't really have a sense of pride or ownership. And if you're a landlord, your tenant's a commodity. If it's not him, it's going to be somebody else. So he used his gift of crafting language and created a paradigm of belonging. So in his communities, people are invited to become members, not residents or tenants. They don't live in units. They don't live in apartments. They live in homes. They don't pay rent. They pay membership fee, and they sign a membership agreement, not a lease. And there isn't a property manager. Instead, there's a community mayor whose main role is to love on the members of the community. There's more to this, but for the sake of time, that's just the start. So anyway, one of the last decisions a prospective member would make before moving in is what color they wanted the walls painted. Think about that for a second. In a world where the only choice that you have as a renter is how many bedrooms do you need and when can you move in? By the way, I do a lot of secret shopping, and I could say 9 times out of 10, the first question out of a leasing agent's mouth are those questions. It's not what's your first name or what brings you here, or if you have a family. There's barely really any attempt at building rapport. Needless to say, we don't do that, and our team takes great strides in trying to build a relationship and a rapport with people. So anyway, Howard thought, gee, why not let the person living in the home choose the color of the walls? I mean, he's got to stare at it in the first place, right? So even if he picks the default color, there's a powerful act of psychology that takes place. And now he's got a sense of pride and ownership. He'll take better care of living in his home, which means less wear and tear, less overall cost. And you can see a lot of the benefits of the Primer ethic on the screen. It really makes perfect human sense and really business sense. So kind of fast forward to the end of these 3 days, I was completely in awe that I met this man out of the gate, right? I told him, like, how is it I find the one guy out of 300 people on the first day? I said, clearly God and the universe has conspired to put us together. So we hired Howard as a strategic consultant to help us build a spiritual successor to what he did 20 years ago today. And as part of this, we've inherited all of his processes, procedures, methodologies, and we're the only one company licensed to deliver this Primer ethic. And one of the many great things that we received from Howard was his hiring templates. If anyone's seen the movie Moneyball, this will make sense for you. So Howard spent 10 years working with an outside company that specializes in personality assessments to create these templates off of each of his star employees. And these position templates gave Howard and now us a baseline that we use to hire our staff from, eliminating doubt, risk, and making sure that we're putting the right person in the right role that they were kind of wired for. So tying this back up with our value proposition, we see that there's a number of profound benefits with our unique and proven style of management based on this Primer ethic, which translates really to higher occupancy, wait lists, reduced R&M, and lower turn costs. So with that out of the way, let's check out some more photos of the property and the location. Here's an aerial shot. Some people will say, hey, where the heck is Riverdale, Georgia? Well, it's just 7 miles south of the airport. Here's Atlanta. This gray blob is the airport itself. And here's Green Village Apartments. Again, it's 7 miles south of really the world's busiest airport. A major aspect of our plan is to improve the cosmetics of the property. As you said, this is a value add project. Here we see some of the 25 units that have already been renovated. We plan on improving these renovations with nicer countertops, stainless steel-like appliances, and better sinks. As mentioned, we have 27 units that are offline. They range from a variety of current conditions. This one is pre-demo. This one is demoed, and they've already started patching the walls and prepared for paint. We'll be able to potentially reuse the boxes in this kitchen and put new fronts on it and save some money. This bathroom is really ready for completion. And this kitchen has the boxes already painted and the walls have already been patched. Here's a floor plan makeup. The thing to note that this property was built is mostly 2 beds, 1 bath with 16 one-bedrooms. And at some point during the ownership, one owner started stealing bedrooms from the 2s and making 3s out of it. You can sort of see it here in this 3-bedroom. When you go to the common area here to get to the 3rd bedroom, you've got to walk through one of the bedrooms here to get to it. So we may or may not keep that depending on how well they sell. So let's discuss our value add business plan. Our plan covers really 2 aspects. To, number 1, provide a quality product and then offer additional services to increase revenues. So part of improving the product includes painting the exteriors in a whitewash on the bricks. I'll get you some pictures in a moment about that. Fixed deferred maintenance, gutters, soffits, balconies, lawn cleanup. The lawn hasn't been touched in ages. And offering really a beautiful place to live on the interiors with great finishes. Excuse me. So premium countertops and kitchen finishes. We're going to be adding a clubhouse with a fitness room and a pool to compete with our main competitors. And our plan is to increase our occupancy from 67% today to 90% by the end of year one. And we'll do this by aggressively completing those 27 down units to make those rent ready. There are two parts to the interior plan, getting those 27 down units online and the remaining 65 back to match the 27 units over time to match the rent target. We're working with the design team to scope out the materials and look and feel for our new property. This is all part of our plan to elevate the community from a C class to a B minus. Notice a lot of the style and finishes that our designers have selected to really make this place pop. And because we have 27 units that are offline, we've got a great opportunity to bring in a large crew from our GC partner at Duran Construction, who has over 20 years of construction experience, to get these easy down units rent ready in a few months' time. A tremendous part of our business plan is to increase curb appeal, as I mentioned, which includes making the outside of these buildings more attractive. So again, our goal was to dramatically change the look and feel of this property by painting the exteriors. We're going to be replacing the doors and painting them, and we'll also improve the landscaping of the property too. We'll be painting the exterior, as I mentioned, in a whitewash. We'll add a faux wood surround to the dated columns and put all new doors on with new paint. And you can see a rendering of a new sign that we plan on putting in front of the property driveway. So let's call out the current occupancy situation. Some may think that having an occupancy of 67% is a bad thing. We absolutely love it. And our GC partner can come in and his crews can renovate those easy units in under 2 months. And we can rent those newly renovated units to, close to or at market rate, which is $750 higher than what's in place today. And we don't have to wait for renewals or vacancies to get in. Instead, we'll be able to renovate those occupied units as they come up. It's less disruptive that way. Plus, existing tenants love seeing improvements being made. It helps them sell. It helps us to sell the story for value given for value received when it comes time to renew. And let me point out, in our experience, when buying properties like this, for the people that live there, their biggest gripe is lack of service. They pay rent, and then the day it's late, management is really all up on them. And so when they put a service request, they wait and they wait and they wait. So they respect and appreciate when someone treats them right and is responsive to their needs, and is actually improving, where they call home, which is exactly what we're doing. So here's a detailed breakdown of the budget for rehab as we start going through into where we're spending our money. We've budgeted $25,000 per unit on average across all the 27 down units. Some need more work, some need less. We have $12,000 per unit to cover the 55 units that have varying stages of renovation work already completed. And $5,000 for the 10 units that are fully renovated to cure any shortcuts that were done along the way. We have $525,000 for the clubhouse construction. We're planning on building a 1,500 square foot building. This puts us at about $350 per square foot. And we've got budgets for landscaping, asphalt repair, deferred maintenance, and a healthy contingency for things that go bump in the night. And we've already received bids for our project. Duran Construction was by far the leader in being able to work within our budget and scope and prove that they really wish to be a long-term strategic partner for us. From an amenity and common area standpoint, we'll be adding a pet park. We absolutely love pets. We'll be installing a precast concrete pool behind the clubhouse and be improving landscaping, making the parking lot a lot more attractive to enhance that curb appeal. In total, we've had about $475,000 allocated in total to those projects, as mentioned. We have two potential locations for placing the clubhouse and the pool. We have a $525,000 budget for those clubhouses. Here's the main road. There's the two front buildings along the main road. There's a nice grassy area over here that you can kind of see from the main street, which would be a good candidate. There's also this nice large grassy area between these four apartments buildings that makes a good spot as well. So let's jump into operations. We'll be managing this in-house with significant property management. We'll have control over the staff using our proprietary personality templates. We plan on overstaffing the property by half of a person. This will allow us to serve the people in the office and give us air cover should one person call out. We'll be rolling out flat rate bill back, that's a mouthful, on new leases. We've done this at our other properties and they land very softly. We're looking at creating about $85,000 annually of value over 3 years in other income. The top chart shows our pricing menu that we'll be charging new members per month for pest, trash, and water bill back, depending on the floor plan. And the bottom chart shows the forecasted increase in other income that we expect to see once stabilized.
5 more minutes, JP.
Great. Lastly, as part of the other income, we'll be implementing trash valet, pet services potentially, and an Amazon locker, as well as a fitness center in the clubhouse to be competitive with the subject, with the comps. So let's go into rent comps. We see here our subject property surrounded by 4 comps. These are all within a 3-mile radius. Our 3 main comps that we'll focus on is Meadowview, Meadow Springs, and Monterey Village. They all have the same neighborhood look and feel. They technically have lower median income, 38 grand versus our 43K. I've driven all of them. I've secret shopped all of them. However, as we closely examine the product they're offering, along with the price premium they're commanding, it's really nothing compelling. It just tells us that people are willing to pay a premium for a really good product. So if we jump in here, we got 3 photos. We've got from our main comps, we've got wood colored cabinetry, basic counters, laminated, top mounted sinks, old backsplashes. And what I see here really is an uninspiring kitchen and finish quality. It means totally fine, but there's nothing extraordinary and nothing special, especially when you consider the fact that these things are getting $750 more than what we have in place today. So when we dig into the numbers, we see that the market is higher by us for the 1 bedrooms by at least $500, $578 in one example and $550 in the next one. It's the same story for the 2s and 3s. Here, the 2 bedrooms are $750 to $800 higher than what we are. And by the way, I checked Meadow Springs earlier today. They're no longer at $1,620. They're actually at $1,750. And then the 3 bedrooms are the same, $900 to $1,100 plus higher than we are for our 3 bedrooms. So as you can see, there's significant upside, or should I say significant upside potential here. And I'm sure many of you are aware of how much Atlanta is growing from a real estate standpoint. When we focus on the region, we see super strong growth in all the major macroeconomic areas that matter most: population, job growth, income trends. All this helps reinforce why investing in Atlanta makes a lot of sense and why that economic machine in place will continue to dominate. The airport in Atlanta is a tremendous driver of this, with over 60,000 jobs and an $82 billion economic impact. And there are a number of projects in development near the airport which continue to fuel growth. This airport, again, is only 7 miles north from the property. And then Clayton County, where the property is located, is among the top 10 year-over-year rent growth markets as well. So let's get into equity splits. When investors invest in this deal, they can expect to receive an 8% preferred rate of return. We plan on holding this for a 5-year period, and we'll exit sooner if the market conditions exist. The waterfall structure is as follows. The first 8% go 100% to LPs. After 8% up to 12, it is an 85-15 split, 85 going to LPs and 15 going to GPs. Between 12 and 18%, it's split again. It's 75% to the LPs, 25 to the GPs. And then after an 18% IRR, it goes to a 60-40 split. We project to do a 19.4% IRR to LP investors for the total hold. This works out to be 2x or more equity multiple. And again, we're looking to raise up to 3.9 of common equity in the deal. The sponsors will be putting in 15% of the equity in the deal as well. Typically, most deals are about 10%, but we're putting in more. Here's a snapshot of a $100,000 investment. Our minimum investment is 100 grand. We can see that there is some cash flow in year 1. There's a good bump in year 2 when we do our refinance. And then there's more cash flow in year 3 and year 4, and then an exit in year 5. And of course, tying back into the previous screen with the splits, you'll see that in year 5, that's when the hurdles start taking into effect. You put in 100 grand, you get out 218, you walk away with $118,000 of profit plus tax benefits, which we'll get into in a second. So we expect we're going to be working with a tax consultant. We expect total depreciation to be about $3.2 million over 5 years, almost a 1-to-1 ratio for dollar in, dollar out. Year 1, we expect between a 2.2 and a 2.5 million in immediate bonus depreciation. So let's recap some of the highlights here. We have under market rents by $750 plus. We're buying the property for $107,000 per door, or $9.8 million. Our cap rate going in, because it's an unstabilized property, it's a bit funky, is 3%. Our stabilized cap rate in a few years is 7%. Our exit cap rate assumption is 6.5% at 5 in year 5. We've assumed in the underwriting our taxes will increase and our insurance increases. They've increased in total of 575%. And then from a CapEx standpoint, major items have already been completed. Windows and roofs already done. We've got a $3 million plus CapEx budget. And on the loan side, we'll be taking out a $10.9 million bridge loan, 70% loan to value, 100% loan to cost on our CapEx, interest rate at 5.75% interest only, and a 3-year term. Let's examine our assumptions for expenses. You'll see across the board, we've increased expenses in pretty much, well, in all the categories, specifically insurance cost and real estate taxes. The large increase in contract service covers the increase in landscape charges and trash valet that we expect to take on. We'll go from $4,500 per unit per year to over $7,200 per unit per year. Let's spend some time reviewing the pro forma projections. The current NOI today is $294. You can see in year one, we've modeled out a 90% occupancy as our target. We've ramped up all the expenses as outlined in the previous slide compared to current. We plan on achieving an NOI in the year one as 677, and then it's 986 NOI in year two. That's when we plan on refinancing. Our DSCR remains solid. Our break even, the lowest is at 48% in year two. So we've got some strong numbers in those
So
categories.
your time is up. I don't know how close you are to the end.
I think I'm right there. Give me 2 minutes. Here's our sources and uses for some loan details. We're buying with a bridge loan, as mentioned. Russell Nova, who's on the call here, is part of the team. He's worked hard with us to get us the best possible terms. We plan on staying in this bridge loan for no more than 24 months. And here's a breakdown of our sponsor fees. We're charging a 2% acquisition fee, 1% exit, and 1% refinance fee. And here is our timeline. Our deadline for funding is approaching. March 14th is when we'll need to receive deposits. We close on March 31st. And the last two slides are really just the team. We'll discuss the two sponsors. One of the two main sponsors is Significant Lifestyle Communities, as well as our in-house property management company, Significant Property Management. We'll be managing the property day to day with our unique style of management. Significant owns and operates and manages over 500 units across 6 states today, including 2 assets in Atlanta currently, which we manage. The second main sponsor is Stone Street Multifamily and Burton Capital. That's Charles and Russell. Russell is helping to secure debt for us as he brings additional multifamily ownership experience. Stone Street, which is his firm, has over 700 units. They own and asset manage today. Charles and his company will be helping us with asset management, as will CalRove CRE partners. Daniel and Johannes have a ton of combined real estate experience and relationships they bring to the team. Daniel with CalRove has also 20 years of development experience in multifamily as well. And then lastly, our GC partner, Durant Construction, has been in the business for over 20 years. They have extensive multifamily renovation experience, and his team has already been on site numerous times and is prepared to start renovations the second we close. Here's a sample of some of the projects that Significant has worked on, most recent being a $3.8 million CapEx for a 278 unit in Shaker Heights. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Here's our contact information. You can scan the QR code. It will take you to our investor portal. From there, you can download the materials and request some more information. And with that, I'm done.
Outstanding. Thank you, JP. Thank you so much. Let's do the poll real quick. Did I share the results before? The credit investors? Y'all see this already? Y'all see this?
Yep.
All right, y'all seen it already, right? All right, stop that. Make sure I shared it. So my question is right now, how do you rate this deal? Let's see how you rate this deal. The poll should come up. 10 been a home run, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. How you rate this deal? Let me know. Okay. Poll's going down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm in that poll. Share results. All right, so we got some people liking it. Some people got some questions about it. So you got some. You see your results, JP.
Hey, there's no one. That's great.
Yeah. So let's see here. Now, second question I want to ask you. If you could, how much money would you invest in this deal? You like to know.
Wow, this is a bit biased.
Biased. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And poll, share results. JP, you got some people need more information. You got some people want to put their money in there. You got your results, right? You see it?
Yep.
All right. So now let's stop sharing. And one more thing for you all. Here's a link. If you all want to for JP, if y'all want JP reach out to you, the link is in the chat. Put it in the chat real quick. That you can reach out, put your information there if you want somebody to reach out to you about this deal here. Okay. So click the link below, kind of get you a soft commitment, information, and you can talk more about him about this deal. All right, so now, Charlie Dobbins, you want to go last or you want to go first? Talk to me.
I go last.
No problem at all.
Because I need to learn. I need to learn from the other sharks how to do this.
I'll say Charlie Rustin, the fund manager. Let's go first, Charlie Rustin. Talk to me.
Well, JP, great presentation. I struggled to keep up the speed of you talking.
It's a lot to cover.
So clearly you've been practicing it all day because you've got it down to an art and science. Very interesting project. I've got a couple of questions.
Yes.
The 27 vacant units, why are they vacant? Why so many?
Great question. So the current owner bought it, but the property was 24% occupied. It's one of these properties that needed like heavy lift value add. So he bought it when it was 24% occupied, and he's been slowly doing the value and getting people in there and stabilizing it. So he stopped at 68. He wasn't planning on selling the property. There were some partnership changes and he was kind of forced to put it on the market. Well, it's off market, but bring it to a broker who reached out to a handful of sponsors like myself. And we were able to take it off of his lap there. So that's why it is in the way it is. And again, we love the fact that we have that much opportunity to really affect a lot of change in one fell swoop.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are the comps in terms of the other sales comps per door in the area?
So I do have
107.
Yeah, we're buying at 107. The last one I hit the books was 116 in October of last year. And there's 3 properties under contract right now that should be closing any day. The cheapest one is at 140,000 a door. The highest, there's 3 properties, is at 152 a door. So between 140 and 152 a door is what 3 other comps are currently closing for right now.
And I didn't quite catch because of the speed of your you going, but so what's your exit price on the price per door?
150.
Okay. So who out of the group is boots on the ground?
I am. I'm 30 minutes from the property.
Okay. Cool.
And we manage 2 other assets in the area too.
Okay. Right. Okay. And how long have you had those?
Since 2019.
Right. Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
When do you close? That's my last question.
End of March.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Charles, what do you think, Charles? Is it a deal that you think about funding, or what are your thoughts? Any more information?
Definitely need a bit more information. I mean, like I said, he's got the gift of the gab in terms of speed. So I need to absorb a little bit more, but I like the initial on the surface. I like the deal.
Outstanding. All right, Kay Trevor, talk to me.
Yeah, so I had one question. What I missed it because again, things went by quickly and I know there's short time. What is going to be your typical blended rate per month for the apartments?
So we're starting off at $900 per month. Our year 1 target is to get to $1,200 per month. And then our year 3 target is to get to, on average, $1,600 per month.
Okay. And do you think that's achievable in an area that has an average income of only 42,000? You know, that's pretty low to get up to $1,600.
Sure. Yeah. When I look at the 3 separate properties that are all charging $750 higher than where we are today, those rent targets are in line with what they're getting, and their average median income in those properties is $38,000 versus our $43,000.
Okay. And you mentioned that you're going to go from your dismal 67% occupied to 90. What is on your comps? What is their average occupancy?
It's over 95%.
So it's over 95.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last question is you mentioned about the construction person being a partner. So are they a GP in the
No,
team?
I use that as in the wrong sense. They're a partner in the sense that they're good people to work with, but they're not part of the general partnership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is some talk, with all its all fairness, there is some talks about having them invest in the deal as an LP. But just from a working together standpoint, right now, they just seem like a good strategic partnership for us to have a good trusted partner that we can work with, if that isn't too confusing.
Okay, perfect. All right. And that was my questions.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Outstanding. Mr. Charles, you ready for it?
Oh, you're muted, Charles.
Hold on. Let me get, hold on a second. Get this. Try it now, Charles.
No, you're still muted.
Come on. I just use
There
my
you
best
go.
lines. I just use my best lines. And AJ, I just got to tell you, I understood everything you said. I'm from Boston. We talk a lot faster than you do. So I had no problem following anything you said. Got some issues here. I'd like to actually appreciate Trevor's questions. So let's talk about, first off, the guy that you're buying it from bought it at 24% occupancy and got it up to 27% occupancy and then had partnership problems.
No.
And he's now selling it to you. Did I get that right?
No. Bought it at 24. It's at 67 now.
He got it to 67.
And there's 27 units that are in process of renovation.
Okay,
They're
so
stopped.
Okay. So what did he pay for it a year ago?
He bought the property a year and a half ago. Yeah. So he bought it for, it was in the 70s.
No, he bought it for 4.3 million.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And a year later, he's selling it to you for 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a partnership problem. That's a windfall.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah. No, but
Holy cow. The guy
Agreed.
brought it up by 30%, still a non-performing asset, and he's making 100% on the sale of the property in 1 year.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going. First off, the money that you're talking about doing the rehab, $25,000 per unit, that is really in line with what it should be. Now, you talk about, you start off the conversation glowingly about your meeting some gentleman in Utah and the way he treated his tenants as members, not as tenants, just like a spiritual awakening. Is that an accurate? I mean, did I get that right? Did you sell it to me the right way?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. So right now, these people are members, not tenants, they're members, are paying about $900 a month in rent on average.
Yes.
And you said at the end of the next year, you're going to move it up to $1,200, which is in line with the submarket. And then you said in the third year, you're going to get it up to almost $1,600 per month, which is the market. How many of those members that started out at $900 do you think you're going to have on board 3 years from now?
We make no bones about it. Not everyone is compatible with what we're delivering.
Yeah.
And not everyone's,
not every,
there's going to be a cycle of change with the existing residency there. Howard experienced that in his 4,000 units. We're experiencing that in our other properties that we're implementing this style of management. Not everybody's compatible, and that's to be expected. So we expect there to be turnover until you find people that find value.
There'll be 100% turnover. There'll be 100% turnover, and that's what you can expect. All right. So let me ask you something. When does the preferred? You talk about a preferred return. When do you start paying the preferred return? Or does it get on the back end or on the first year?
It gets all paid out at the back end. But
all of it does.
Well, I mean, there's still distributions made each year, but there's not enough to get to the 8% each year.
Okay, so in the first year, we're not going to see that preferred return.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
But
now,
the GPs aren't.
How many
being,
units are going online? New units are going online in this market in the next year.
The number is not in front of me. I have the CoStar report.
22,000.
Yep.
How would that sit with you?
No, but it's a lot of new units coming online.
You agree there are a lot of new units coming online.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. How do you think that's going to impact your numbers?
In Riverdale or just in Atlanta, the greater Atlanta MSA?
In this market, there are 22,287 units coming online next year.
Sure.
So how do you think that's going to impact your deal?
That's going to create more competition, and it's going to help us stand out more because it's more of the industry doing what the industry does, which is automated. Well, it means like, for example, when I did the secret shopping at the 4 properties that are our main comps, I received less than exemplar customer service. I was toured through their show trail that had trash and litter about there. There wasn't anything exemplary about the condition of the units themselves for the price they were asking for. The conditions of the facilities there were substandard. There were broken lights in the bathrooms in the clubhouse. The staff was less than courteous. And when you walk into our communities where you're greeted immediately, there's a higher level of interaction and customer service. You stand out like a breath of fresh air, and that is what people kind of gravitate to.
I'm ready to make my decision, Cornelius. You ready? Okay, so listen, I love the rehab opportunity you have here with the spread from where you are getting rents now. Obviously, you get some great units. You can clear them all out.
That's right.
This thing would be a home run, but for what you paid for it. You are overpaying for this property. I'm looking at the sales comps in this area, And I'm looking at right now in the last year, the highest property was 117,000 per unit. And you are saying that you're thinking about what, 150 or something to get out of this deal? That's huge. And with the interest rates going up right now, man, that guy is robbing you blind. The guy that you're buying from is robbing you blind. That's my only problem with this deal. You're overpaying for the property. You can fix anything on a multifamily property, except overpaying for it. And so, man, you had a great opportunity. I wish you guys all the best. I hope it works out the way you want, but you're overpaying for it. Big mistake. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Charles.
Thanks.
JP, one more time. They put your slide for people to reach out to you, because we all streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on YouTube. We're getting this thing going global. We got people from Mexico. I'm sorry. One more time, share your slide real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
And once again, I'm gonna put in the chat if you all want to reach out to JP and his team. Put your information here as well, in the link, and he'll reach out to you about the soft pass as well, and I'll share it with you as well. Thank you again, JP.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right. Up next, we have Sanjay. Are you ready, my good man? Oh, let me see. Hold on a second. Hold on. Try it now, Sanjay.
I was just going to say, thanks, JP. You guys are going to do great. I love what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Hey, can you hear me, guys?
We can hear you, Sanjay.
All
How
right.
are you, my good man? You say everything. Are you ready?
I am ready, yes.
Should I unmute somebody else for you? Or are you working by yourself?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Should I unmute somebody for you?
No, I'm going to talk through the presentation myself, and after that, I've got Sharier and Amy online. They may chip in during the Q&A session.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Charles Dobbins, I guess you got a question about asking where you pulling your data from. Go ahead and let everybody know where you get information from. All right, so Sanjay, while you share, go ahead.
Oh, everyone. No. This is all off the top of my head. I'm an expert in this industry. I know vacancy rates, absorption rates, occupancy rates across the country. Ask me anything, but give me an address, and then I'll let you know. So.
Oh man, that is good. Ready when you're ready, Sanjay. Let's rock and roll.
All right, let me see. You can see my screen?
Not yet. It's coming. Sir, we see some pictures of you, sir. Please put them away. Okay.
All right, you can see my screen, see the presentation?
We do, we see it. Yes, sir. Thumbs up.
All right. Ready to start?
Yes, sir. Hey, Trevor, you ready, Trevor? All right, you're ready. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Good evening, Shark Pool and the Shark Pool Nation. My name is Sanjay Agarwal, bringing to you Pasadena 22 deal from Texas. I heard a lot of Texas people earlier, so here is your opportunity to. We're raising a total of $6.1 million for a minimum investment of $75,000, projecting to double your money in 5 years or less. We have a very conservative underwriting that we will talk through here shortly, and double your money in 5 years or less. Here is a picture of the two complexes that we are acquiring. They look beautiful or ugly. I said they look ugly, and that's our biggest opportunity. That's where we see the money. We don't see it as ugly, but we see it as money. So before I get started, I'm not an accountant, not a lawyer, not a CPA, or a financial advisor. There are future projections involved here. Please do your due diligence before making any decisions for any investment. Okay, so the property we have is we have two properties that are about 2 miles apart from each other. One Fieldstone Apartments, 137 units plus an office. Embers Apartment, 89 units plus one office for a total of 228 units. On an average combined square foot of 743 square feet, built in early 60s, solid Class C, with a current occupancy of 97.8% between the two units. Again, it's a high occupancy, which some may think is a good or bad. It's actually both good and bad, as we'll talk about. So what is our business plan at a high level? As we look at a high level, very standard vanilla plan. So makes it very easy to execute for us and stay focused on this plan. So upgrade the interiors. All 89 units of Ambers need to be upgraded. Fieldstone, current owner has upgraded some of the units, but the remaining 60 or so units still need updated and renovated. We plan on upgrading the exterior, add that curb appeal, add the amenities, leasing office, and make it more attractive for the tenant base. There are a few more opportunities to increase other income by RUBS or bill back of electricity, water, and trash. We'll talk about that in a second. That seller is currently charging all bills paid and not charging back for utilities. So that is one of the biggest opportunity for us here from day one, where we get in and start redoing the leases and start charging back for the utilities. We do plan on getting a T1 line and start offering a Wi-Fi across the apartment. There is some opportunity for water conservation steps to lower the water bill and conserve. Along all this, very poorly managed property currently. The 2 times I've been there, one of the property on Ambers, there is nobody on site, nobody's answering the phone. On Fieldstone, even when we go there, manager is very reluctant to show the property. Despite poor management, they've been able to maintain such a high occupancy, mainly because of the demand and lack of availability of housing in the area. So we plan on putting our new property management team to improve those efficiencies. Our asset management team owns properties in the region and bring the leadership and expertise to this deal. And currently, we'll talk about that a little bit later. We are acquiring this at a 3.5 cap rate on the actual basis, but that is mainly because seller is operating at a horrible expense ratio of about 90%. So they're getting a really low income and a lot higher expenses than the industry standard. So from the year one, we plan on bringing that expense ratio down to in the 60% range, and then operate it to continue to bring it down. So let's look at the rent comps in the area to see, could we really increase those rents? That is the main part of our business plan. So for both of the apartments on the pictures on the left, you can see where our apartments are based out, and the rent comps kind of spread out across both the properties. So looking at some of the properties, Fieldstone is on the smaller side for size for the units, which is a good thing because it makes our rehab a little bit lower, but we are able to charge the rents compared to the apartments with the bigger units and brings us that higher rent. Ambers are on the larger side, so it makes it that much easier for us to be able to rent those units. So comparing the rents per unit across the board, you see our Fieldstone and Ambers apartments are at $860 and $860, both of them, but that is including the utilities. While most of the other apartment rents that you see here are without the rents, without the utilities. Utilities are being charged on top of these rents for the comps. So converting that into rent dollar per square foot and normalizing without the utilities, you can see we are on a quite a bit lower dollar per square foot compared to most of the other unit. For Fieldstone, quarters on Bluff Road from $1 per square foot is in line with ours, but those units are quite a bit higher. So from an absolute dollar perspective, we're going to be able to charge quite a bit higher rent for our units and get to that close to $900, $950 per unit with that plus the utilities. So get us up there for those rents. And Amber's apartment, we're quite a bit below the market. So just charging that rent back gets us a huge upside of our business plan. So why do we like this area? Why do we like this? So Port of Houston is one of the biggest port in United States, the #1 for U.S. imports, #1 for U.S. export tonnage, #1 for U.S. waterborne tonnage, goes across the Port of Houston. The amount of jobs created, the economic impact of the investment through the state in the area planned, and that has been in the last 2 decades, is humongous. So the overall the overall scale of that investment and the growth will continue, and it's not something that you could change or reverse or even slow down in a 1 year, 2 year, 5 year period. So it's a growth that will continue. And on top of that, the foreign trade zone that Port of Houston has been designated ranked #1 by US for the merchandise received across the port. In addition to that port, the petrochemical industry in the area, with some of the big names, the Chevron, ExxonMobil, have business in this area that drives the job market, continues to drive. Again, it's not only the energy sector, but all the chemical industry that are driven through the oil sector, which is very not as much dependent on the oil and the energy prices, but the chemical sector is continues irrespective of the oil prices and has a huge market that continues. So some of the jobs and the sectors that employ across all of this, over a million, more than 1 million employees across these few employers, and the ancillary employment that goes along with this. This is just to name a few, but of course a huge job market that continues to expand and continues the demand for the housing in an already low supply housing for the area. So let's look at sample return for the investors. What are the investors getting? What are they getting here? So on a sample 100,000 investor, we are projecting like I said at the beginning, double the money in 5 years or less. But most of that return is not backloaded. The return is coming through the cash flow from the operations on a year-over-year. We are putting in a 7% preferred return for our LP investors before the sponsoring team takes anything from the cash flow. We don't expect to meet that 7% in the year 1 from the cash flow. So the 7% the difference of the 7% will accumulate from the actual cash flow from year 1. We expect to make up the difference of year 1 in year 2 and provide that to the investors. And then have a little bit more cash flow projected for the year 2 that we will be able to distribute. So
5-minute warning.
So we have a half and half of the return through the cash flow, annual cash flow, and the other half at the end when we, in the year 5, when we look to sell the property. So overall, it's just under 18% on IRR and the equity multiple of 2, a little over 2. Pass-through benefits of cost segregation, and it's a 506C, which is accredited investors only. Our going in cap rate is 3.34, but the exit cap rate assumption is 5.75. So we're putting a very conservative exit in the rising interest rate environment for us to be able to cover that. So a little bit about the team. So Amy, who is on the line today, has a 20-year experience in construction as well as putting together the deals. Amy is based out of Austin and has a strong asset management experience. Justin and Amy put the deal together, found the deal originally, and Ash, who has around net $640 million under asset under management, is our main loan balance sheet person, bringing as a KP. Shahryar worked for Shell and has been investing in the commercial real estate for the last few years, and now coming on board as a full-time. And Ajit and Mike Bailey. Ajit, Mike, and Shahryar all based out of Houston locally. So they will be boots on the ground, driving all the business plan there. And a little bit about myself, engineer by education, fell into banking after business school from University of Chicago, and been doing commercial multifamily for the last 7 years. So across the team, we have a ton of experience, local presence, as well as experience in the multifamily space. So let me talk a little bit about the risk factors and mitigation of those risk factors that we have. Of course, it's a bigger rehab that we have here. So, we're looking at undertaking this rehab with a very experienced team with local expertise as well as the vendor contacts. And we have enough budgeted for any price increases for the materials. Rising interest, higher cap rate environment, the biggest, we're using a quite a bit higher cap rate for the area that we have. So 5.75 to make sure we don't get tied into that. From a prolonged downturn with a higher interest rate, we have such a good cash flow that we could continue to operate property as a cash flow. Additionally, being in a Class C environment, in a downturn environment, the demand for the C property goes up, as well as the rents go up when the demand goes up. So let's just summarize. A great investment for doubling the money with a 7% preferred return. Promise to investor that will accrue before sponsors take anything. Sponsors collectively investing 1.3 million of the total 6.1 million raise, out of which brings it to about 21-22% of the total raise that we're looking to invest. A projected average cash on cash yield of 9.5%, 9.7%, projected IRR of just under 18%. A whole period of 3 to 5 years, if we end up exiting at 3 years after we complete our rehab, of course, the return and IRR would be higher. We could, if the interest rates are in line, we could do a refinance within the first around the 3-year period, which would be additional upside for us for this deal. So it's a great investment. Our acquisition at a below $75,000 per unit, per door, along with another $7,000 to $8,000 that we are budgeting for rehab to spend per unit, is quite a bit below the existing market rate of above $100,000 a door in that Pasadena market. So it gives a great basis for us to get in, as long as we execute our rehab and the property management plan with our customers and the tenants. We should be able to provide very solid returns to the investors. So here's our contact information. Amy, myself, or Mike Bailey, reach out to us. Our cell phone or email, would be happy to share more information. We do have Emma, who facilitates with the investors for our any questions for the paperwork. Yeah, I made my 15 minutes. Yes.
Just did it, man. The timer just went off. You get like, I don't know if there's extra brownie points, but and you did. I think even Charlie could understand what you said.
Yeah, I'm slow, so that was good and slow for me.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Outstanding. So let's go to the polls now. Shark Pool Nation, talk to me. Our question is on this deal. How do you rate this deal? Deal number 2. Let's see. Talk. Your poll should be up on your screen. Shark Pool Nation, how do you rate this deal? 10 as sweet cherry pie. Number 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you rate it? Mike Bailey, I'm gonna put the thing. This is in the chat. Put your link in the chat real quick for Mike Bailey. Here you go. So if you wanted to reach out to Mike Bailey deal, here's their link as well. Okay. Poll, we're in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, polls ending, share results. So now you all see the results. Some people say sweet cherry pie, got some 7s, got some 5s, got some 3s, and so forth. So people want to know about this deal, okay? Second question I'm gonna ask you tonight for this deal here. If you could, how much would you invest in this deal? If you could. The poll is up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Post up, share results. Got some misfits there, so that you see your results. Okay. Now let's on to our charts on the panel. Let's talk to me. All right. Let's in the results here. First, we have Charlie from Charlie, not Charles. Charlie. There's a difference.
You mean the Brit?
the fund
We
manager.
say the limey.
Oh, we're going down that route, are we?
Love you, man.
Sanjay, thanks for the presentation. Very good. There's a lot of great things about this project. I love the management team. There's a lot of experience there. I really do like the fact that the EP team are putting in close to 20% of the equity raise. I think that's more than usual. And that obviously shows a compelling reason that they believe that this is a very strong deal. I think the one thing that I would have expanded upon, and I would like a little bit more information on, is that you mentioned that the current owner is operating at a 90% expense ratio, which, without knowing his funding and financing situation, would tell me he's probably in negative territory on cash flow. And so how's he actually supporting the loan that he's got, on the assumption he's got a loan, of course. And of course, you're going to capitalize on that by going, as you said, bringing the expense ratio down below 60%. So I guess my question would be is highlight how you're going to do that, but also 60%, shouldn't it be getting down closer to 50% or not? Knowing that I appreciate you got 2 properties, but I'd be intrigued to, get your feedback on that.
Yeah. So I will let Amy answer on the current owner situation if they are on a negative cash flow. But for definitely, we are bringing it down to, in the year 1, we are at a 60 or just under 60% expense ratio. But of course, year 1, we expect some vacancy with the rehab, and not all the tenants are gonna accept the lease renewal with a $150, $200 jump on utility plus the rent. So, so year 1, we are expecting a little bit higher expense ratio, or at least projecting in our numbers. But year 2, we start to get close to 50% expense ratio. Amy, you want to speak about the current owner cash flow and their expense ratio? You're on mute, Amy.
Can you unmute her, Cornelius?
I thought she was unmuted, so let's try it now.
Amy, you're there.
Oh, there I am. Okay, great. So part of the problem, Charlie, is that the current owner's a knucklehead and doesn't know how to do cost accounting. That's a big part of it. I mean, very unsophisticated owner. Like, he was buying property. He was buying, like, classic example. He was buying paint for a property that's not even in his portfolio and costing it to one of these properties. He had gas in there. He had truck expenses. He had all sort of different things. So it wasn't realistic what his ratios were. He was also spending too much money. He had too much money in payroll. He just is not a very smart manager. He's a very bad manager.
He does own it outright. So
yeah, and he does. Yeah, he does. He doesn't have a loan.
Cost of capital is high for them, but technically not negative cash flow currently.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Right. And was this an off-market deal?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, thought so. But the price you're getting it at versus market. No, overall, I'll look for more information, but I appreciate the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, Trevor, how are you?
So in full disclosure, these folks are my friends. So that means I should be mean, but
hey, Trevor, in full disclosure, they never really liked you. Just saying, okay?
That could be true. I don't know. So
and that's what the friends are for, right?
That's right.
It's not like my friends. Yeah.
I just realized I'm the good Charlie. He's the bad one.
How long did that take you to figure out, Charlie?
Told you I was slow.
So one of the things that always concerns me is when you're increasing rents and adding RUBS, right? It's a double whammy, right? So all of a sudden I was paying X and now I'm paying X plus Y plus Z. So do you think that you can, I mean, obviously you're gonna have to have a full property turn to be able to do that. Is that in the plan?
Yeah, so approximately 60% of our leases are expiring within by this summer. So within next 3 to 4 months. So, you know, that's an opportunity for us to, you know, negotiate the, hey, you start paying the separate utility on top of the rent. And there are a lot of avenues to negotiate there. So, you know, we have an opportunity to not dip our income too low. And that's where we plan on, you know, some will not agree and will move out, and that gives us the opportunity to rehab those units. So, so in our actual pro forma, we're budgeting 16% economic vacancy for year one to be able to do those projected returns that we did. But of course, if you know, if it all goes well, we may be able to operate at quite a bit lower economic vacancy than 16% in year one.
Yeah, I would guess it would be higher for that, if, you know, on 100%, 60% of the units turned. But yeah, and then one other thing, you didn't talk about your loan, or if you did, I missed it. Like, what is bridge? Is it, what's IO? All those things, interest rates.
Yeah. So we have a bridge loan with a 3-year interest only period. Plus we have 2 1-year extensions available. So we can get up to 5-year if needed. It's a 3.9, just under 3.9% interest only for the 3-year period. So it's a great bridge product from Arbor.
And what's LTV or LTC, however you got your loan?
They are doing almost 80%, Amy, is that correct?
Yeah, 80%.
So LTC of 80%.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That was the only questions I had. So
thank you.
We'll let Charles beat you up.
Okay.
Charles has
I
nothing
gotta
to
be
beat
real
us
here,
up
guys.
on. There's no.
All right, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. So first off, I got to say that I appreciate what Charlie's initial line of questioning, and I appreciate Amy's response, where the guys throwing everything but the kitchen sink into the expenses, and it kills the NOI. But nevertheless, you're still paying a 3.34 cap on a 1961 product. That's an issue. Now, you talk about getting it down to about a 50% expense ratio. Typically, a solid C-class property like this one is, and it is a solid C-class property with an all bills paid, you're at 60% expense ratio. Maybe a little bit more, hardly closer to 50. You're talking about going to a tenant-paid utility property. Now, what's the market? Because I've looked at the numbers, and the Ember property is abutting a solid D-class area. So what are your tenants used to paying? Are they all bills paid tenants? And if you start to charge them on the utilities, they're going to move down the street to the guy who's charging an all bills paid rent? Or what have you done as far as figuring out what your market, what your customers are willing to buy from you?
Yeah, so on the rent comps slide that I shared, all of those rent comps that we had, they're charging for the utilities separately. And those apartments standalone rents without utilities is higher than our units' current rents, including the utilities. So on average, ours are $860 with utilities. And those other properties, the comps are over $900 or close to $1,000 without utilities. So utilities are on top of those. So from a market perspective, we have an opportunity to charge the utilities back and then increase. So effectively that $860 average, take out $125 per month or so utilities on average, puts up our rents at, low 700s. So we moved that 700s average rent to close to 900 and charge the utilities. We are still below market.
All right. I like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Hey, Amy, you're pretty disparaging of the current owner. Do you know how much his current loan is for on
It's
just the Fieldstone
zero.
property?
Zero.
What is it?
They don't owe anything.
According
They
to the
don't have a
records,
loan.
it's $17 million.
No,
Really?
17 million is our purchase, just under.
that's our purchase.
So you guys already own this property?
No, we do not.
Okay. Gary Brummer, he's your buyer, right?
Yes, he is.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, it's showing up as being a $17 million deal. So with the 95%, a 90% expense ratio on 95% occupancy, and he gets a $17 million financing.
My
That's what's
understanding is
showing
that
up.
they paid their note off.
Okay.
Yeah, they paid their note.
All right. Now the other thing too, and this is the thing, is I saw this before with another deal from Atlanta. 3 to 5 year hold in today's economy.
Mhm.
How are you going to draft your PPM or your operating agreement in the event you want to hold it longer?
Well, it's already drafted that way. So you're an attorney, dude. Like you write vague.
I'm sorry, did you just call me dude?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right.
I
go
mean, you
ahead.
write vague. You have options to. I mean,
That's what I'm asking. Do you have the options?
Oh yeah, we have the option to extend. We have the option to, like, if you wanted to hold it longer, we have the option. Then it's manager managed LLC. So as a manager, if we choose to extend, we can extend. We're not locked into selling it in 5 years. No one locks themselves into any of that because crap happens. And so,
And the biggest thing is the investor return and the best decision, whatever the return for the investor, right? So
Absolutely. But I'm just wondering, your guys are pitching it as a 3 to 5 year hold.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Because based on investor temperament right now, that's kind of what we're saying that they want. We pitch it. We actually, our pro forma is 5 years, right?
Okay, so your investors
everything's written
are looking to get out of a deal in 3 to 5 years with inflation going up double, incredible numbers every single year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, best of luck to you. I cannot recommend, guys. It's a 1961 product. I mean, I've owned some crappy stuff, and it was newer than this. 1961. I can only imagine what your R&M budget is per unit per year. What do you think it is, Amy?
Well, we're going to do significant CapEx. So, but going in, we have probably set aside 30% of the overall, 25% of the overall.
How much on a per unit basis is your current rehab budget?
It is
$10,000.
Yeah, $10,000, somewhere close to there. Yeah.
Oh, 10,000. The last guy was going to do 20 on his property.
Yeah.
Well, their units were completely down, right? Our units, people are living in these units. So we've got new roof, new pool outside. The actual per unit is really cosmetic is what we need. Plumbing part of the plumbing has been redone. Electrical is copper. So, we don't have the aluminum copper problem. And, those are the two big, along with the roofing. Foundation is very solid. There is no foundation movement, which, in Texas tends to be one of the issues. So the major, the items is really the plumbing there, which on Fieldstone, part of the plumbing is redone, and Amber's we will redo as we redo the unit.
So what's your plumbing budget on Fieldstone?
So I don't have that in front of me broken out.
Are you talking about the wastewater sewer lines? Are you talking about our interior design?
I'm talking about what Sanjay is saying about the plumber. What is Sanjay saying as far as what the plumbing is?
Okay. I mean, so we don't have after we had the plumber do the due diligence, there was no anticipated need that we needed to do any sort of things to the sewer lines or water lines. The only thing that we do have plans on is we have a water conservation budget. That's about 80 grand that we're going to go in and change out the toilets and the faucets and all those great things. But we don't have any immediate needs on changing out any major structural plumbing.
Hey, Sanjay, do you agree with that?
That is true, yes.
So what were you talking about when you were saying that you had so much set aside for the plumbing budget?
So the whole water conservation as well as the pool, there are two pools, right? So we're doing redoing around the pool and checking all of that.
All right, I'm 1961. I wouldn't buy a property older than I am, and I'm 72 years old. So, and right now Trevor's trying to do the math, wondering why I look so good for 72. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, 3.34 cap on a 1961 product. This is where smart investors take their money off the table and sit and wait. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I've done this. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've lived through this. We're coming up on a big issue with overpaying for properties. And I cannot recommend this deal. Sorry.
It's based off as his NOI, right? And his NOI is total crap. So there's not there. I mean, if you adjusted it for a true performer NOI, it's not 3.34. But but I get it. I understand what you're saying. I totally understand it. But it's 74 door. There's no way in hell we're overpaying for this property. I'm just saying.
Well, the thing is, it's 74 a door, but you're also under budgeting or undercapitalizing what you should have in there for your rehab costs. You should be at least $20,000 to $25,000 a door to get this thing up to. I know, but that's the area. It's C-class property. You don't need that much. And
yeah,
it's forever going to be C-class.
I get it. But I was a general contractor for a long time. So we're not spending $25K a door on that because you would over position the property. You would need it. You don't need it.
I wouldn't do it either. So.
Thank you. I guess y'all had a feedback. Might put the contact information in the chat as well. We got our polls going on. Thank you all. Now I'm gonna put my contact information as well in chat as well. If you want to bring your deal to the Shark Pool, let me know. Reach out to me as well. Our next thing that we thank you all. Thank you, Sanjay, for presenting so forth. Thank you all. Thank you, Amy. Thank you all for doing as well. I can unmute everybody in case somebody want to ask any final questions before we go to our next thing, which is the breakout room, so y'all can network with each other. If you are watching this on Facebook or YouTube Live, feel free to join us at Apartment Investors Shark Pool /Zoom, and we'll still be here networking. See y'all next week, same time. Thank you all as well. I will be here. We got some more sharks and more people to present more deals to get more deals funded. Any more questions before we go?
This was great, Cornelius. Thank you very much. This was awesome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
So stay around and go to the room. There you go. The room should be open.